Today is Thursday, September 22nd, 2022. We're going to talk stocks and real estate. As we know, the Fed hiked the interest rate 3/4 of a point yesterday in the effort to tame inflation. There's a lot of things that go on with that. People are confused on, hey, does my mortgage adjust if you have an adjustable 3/4 of a point or not? It doesn't really work like that. Essentially, the Fed rate hike will it'll immediately affect credit cards and student loans and car loans, that type of thing. But mortgage rates are tied to the 10-year treasury. So rates on 30-year fixed mortgages don't move in tandem with the Fed's benchmark, but instead track the yield on the 10-year treasury bonds. But nonetheless, the rates are going up, and so to try to fight inflation, right now, the consumer price index, which tracks inflation as of today, but the last time they changed it or reported on it was September 13th, so a couple weeks back, and it's at 8.3, which is at a 12-year high. Going to the charts, we're going to Helix Energy Solutions is up for the day. The tankers that we're tracking are way up. If you're in TNK right now, you've had a significant bump. We're talking in the last week, 15 points. So tankers are doing very well. Uranium, which we're tracking and actually are in pretty heavy on the precious side, is down for the day, but overall doing pretty well. Valero up for the day, but had a big red candle yesterday, so it is doing okay today. It's up. Whitehaven Coal is up for the day. The Q's down for the day. XLE in the energy sector, they're actually up just a little bit today. Home builders are still struggling. We probably expect that to to happen for a little while longer, but at some point this will be a bounce. The home builders, Budweiser, of course, is up for the day, and we have Stillwater Limited up for the day. Pretty flat, but it is up. Kinross Gold Corporation is trading pretty flat, down a little bit today. Equinox Gold Corp is same. So a lot of these are going to look the very same because they're in the same sectors, but the ones who aren't will vary. For example, Newmont, which we have a position in, is down significantly for the last several months, but we're expecting a bounce back on that. If you look at the the yearly chart, this is what it's looking like. This is what it was like in March at a high of 85, and it's now at 42. So at some point we're expecting Newmont to go up, but we shall see. USO same, up just a little bit today, and ARC is trading down for the day. When it comes to the Fed and the interest rates, if you have not heard of Edward Griffin or The Creature from Jekyll Island, it's highly recommended. At some point, if you're interested in the history of money and the history of how the Federal Reserve was created, it was actually created back in 1913, but in 1910, bankers and a government, somebody from a politician got together to try to create a system for the Federal Reserve, what they named it. They met on an island in Georgia called Jekyll Island, and it gives the whole history of why they created it and how they created it, and it'll absolutely blow your mind. Everybody should at least look at it. And I actually read I listened to the audio book because it's a very thick book. But G. Edward, he has some YouTube videos, and just for example,
These certificates are held, in this case, by the member banks within the system. All the banks, remember this is a cartel, independently owned banks.
So a lot of people think that the Fed is a government program. It's actually not. It's private, but it basically its boss is Congress. But the guy who wrote the book and did all the research on it, and and has proven this. It basically calls it a cartel, because what the banks did was they made it to where when they needed money, they could print money out of thin air. But when they got in trouble, they could bail themselves out, which obviously has happened, throughout the years, through the last 100 years. And it's remarkable. It's actually absolutely incredible. If you're investing at all, if you have your own money and your own skin in the game, you have to understand about investment. You have to understand how the banking system works. And we find this to be the best, most useful information out there. Anyway, Charlie Slack reporting from Investors News Channel, and we'll see you next time.